All right, what's up, guys? So today we have a pro in the co-living world. He's an owners club. Met him a few times. Saw him a couple weeks ago, actually. We had a day with Pace. We got to go to Pace Morby's office in Arizona. Anyway, wanted to bring him on to the podcast because he has multiple co-living properties, and we're just going to learn some things: how he bought them, how he runs them, what brings him the best, occupancy, revenue, stuff like that. So yeah, Liuver, you're in
Awesome.
Houston, right?
Yes. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for bringing me in to your podcast. And I'm excited. I'm excited to work with a co living expert. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I think there's got to be some unique opportunities, especially as Pace revs up this buyer list he's creating for us. I think there's definitely things we can do. But so I guess to go back a little bit, when did you get your first property? Like, where is it in Houston? Is it creative? Like, can you break it down?
Yeah. So basically, let's start a little bit from the beginning. I'm a Latino. I'm Cuban. So I'm in Texas. You know, most of the Cubans are in Florida, in Miami. But I will go there eventually. I will go and invest there with you guys in Florida. So I just came to the States like 9 years ago. Yeah, 2016. And I always wanted to invest in real estate, right? So my first property actually was a fourplex. And a funny story, the lady, my first property was like 7 years ago. Uh, the lady who I bought the property from, she was doing co-living. Actually, now that I remember now, for construction workers, because the
Mm,
forest is close to a factory and close to refineries here in Houston. So she was doing co-living, renting per room. I didn't know at the time, right? So I what I did was I rented it like long term. So that was
nice.
my first property was actually a co-living and 7 years ago. Then I started buying like I bought another property on the market and I converted it into a triplex. I did the house hack. I was a
Mm,
house hacker before a co-living expert. Now I'm mixing both. And I learned to house hack from my fellow investors in Florida. You know that in Florida, most of the houses, or a big percentage, they have studio apartments, in-law suites. They
especially
come
South
with,
Florida, right?
yep. So
Yeah.
I learned from them. After that, I started buying off-market deals, doing the BRRRR strategy, and again, always looking to multiply the doors, right, or renting per room. But at that time, it wasn't that popular, like 3 4 years ago. So I always protected myself doing the house hacking, always adding like an extra door, extra couple of doors in the properties that I was purchasing. And
Yeah.
I will say I've been in Subto 2 years now. So once I got my 10th property, you know that you can have only like 10 conventional loans under your name,
Yeah.
right? So I was getting really bad deals on the DSCRs, on the non-conventionals. And I start typing and looking online. How can I buy properties without using my credit and without bringing any money?
Hmm.
Guess who shows? Who
Yeah.
shows up on the web? Mr. Pace Murray, our mentor and a great industry leader. So yeah, once you see Pace Murray online, forget it. You're gonna keep seeing it, and you're gonna buy a course. You're gonna be in the community. You're gonna do something with him and with his community.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it since then. A lot of tools, a lot of connections. Uh, yeah, an incredible value being in that.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. All right. So are all your co-living properties in Texas or do you own some elsewhere?
Yes, no, actually, I own 90% of my portfolio is in Houston, and the other one is in San Antonio. Right now, I own like 50 something doors
Yeah.
because they're all like small apartments. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
30 properties, but 50 doors, 50 plus because I have a bunch of like duplexes to fourplexes. mostly in
Okay.
Houston and in San Antonio.
And then, of course, whatever you're comfortable sharing, but what what does that roughly net you per month, that those properties?
Uh, I will say the fourplexes close to $1,000 each.
Yeah.
So my cash flow is between, I would say, 10,000 to 15,000.
Then in terms of management, so I know a lot of newer people don't fully understand how powerful property managers are. Are you doing it, or do you hire someone, pay him 8%, or what do you got going on?
No, I'm doing. I have everything in house. So I love how kind of pace team mindset. Instead of me going and hiring like a third party company, I just go and hire someone for my team. In these
Okay.
cases, my management company is like my partner. She's an amazing. She's a former accountant, so you know that she's like down to the pennies with the numbers, with the follow
Mm,
ups. My wife also is helping me on the back end, and a VA.
nice.
So we have like a
It's
kind
different.
of team of four.
Yeah. They care about it more, huh?
Hmm.
Than if you
Yep.
outsourced it. Okay.
I,
All
I
right.
I
So,
like that option. I like that option just to create the business inside my environment. I will say. Of course, I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, that's with 50 plus doors. I don't know. Once I go to 100 to 1,000, I may need to uh,
Yeah.
hire like a
So out of those
professional.
50 plus, how many actual buildings are co-living? Do you have like
I have 15
seven?
properties, 15 properties in Coliving.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then are you doing, so in terms of management, you just explained that. How are you sourcing it? Are they also sourcing it? Are you using pad split, or what are you in terms of finding tenants?
So I would say 90% part split, 90% pad split, and the rest from our own network from Facebook Marketplace. Actually, my goal always was to, because again, I want to have everything in house. So I didn't want to depend on pad split only. So
Yeah.
even I started doing my marketing on Facebook Marketplace. I even had to, I brought tenants to pad split. You know, pad split charge like the 10%, not 10%, the first 10 days plus the 8%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you bring a tenant to pad split, they will remove
They
the
waive
10
it.
days fee.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, I'm not ready yet to start managing my own co-livings, right? But I can do my marketing, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, all those websites, they have the rent by the room option, which is great because if those big data companies have that option, it's because something big is going on, right?
Yeah.
So co-living. So I started doing some marketing on Facebook Marketplace, and I was giving those tenants my pad split link. So they were accessing through my pad split
Yeah.
link,
That helps your
and
numbers big time.
yep.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so what would you say someone wants if someone wants to get their first co-living deal, what is the very best way they can do that? Is it, there's so many choices, right? I know Pace is teaching some
Bro,
new
all
cheat
of the
code
above,
stuff.
all of
Yeah.
the above.
Just attack it. Just really consistency probably is what you'd say, huh?
Yes, I will say as an investor because I do have other. I mean, my team does co-living, does short-term rentals, a little bit of mid-term rentals. I do Section 8s, long-term rentals on the house hacking, right? Because I do create. If you guys follow me on Instagram or check my Instagram, you will see that I do a lot of multi-units, right? So those multi-units, I always make sure that they do cash flow or at least break even in long term as a long term tenant. But on top of that, as a big plus, I just go co-living.
Would you say at the moment, what are you looking for most? Is it deal flow? Is it capital? Is it 50-50? Like equally both?
Very good question. So I have a huge problem now that I have more deals than capital
Yeah.
because
Well,
I've
that
that's a
could be
big
a way
problem,
we
right?
work together. That right
Yes,
there.
I love it. So we need to talk about that during the next our next podcast. So the
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
because I I became like a really good underwriter
Mm.
because and it's my passion. I love to underwrite deals, find the best way to give more money to the sellers, save some money on my side. So uh, I'm helping a lot of newbie investors, even newbie wholesalers, to underwrite deals, to give creative offers. So, for example, lately, instead of me always giving a cash offer, I just go a sub two hybrid flip. So I offer sub two, giving a little bit of money and then give them the rest when I sell the property. Or a hybrid sub, not a sub two. If they own the property free and clear, I just give them a little bit of money up front and then the rest when I sell the flip, like a
So
seller finance flip.
it's not a novation. You're closing on the front.
I'm closing, always closing. Why?
Yeah.
Because I did innovation. I invested $130,000 and I lost 40
Mm.
because I wasn't controlling the property, and it was my mistake as a newbie in the creative finance arena. I didn't did my. It was a super creative deal. I mean, the property was owned by an investor who bought the property in auction, but we have the 3 months redemption period. So I paid the investor to move the deed back to the sellers, and then we did the innovation. So I took a lot of risk trusting in people.
No.
Uh, we ended up having like a 40K second lien that we
Mm.
never find out at the beginning. And at the closing table, the seller asking for $15,000 more. If not, he wasn't signing that day. And my private money lender was freaking out. Actually, I still owe my private money lender a little bit of money, like a year and some time later.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm paying them profits over profits. They're not happy, but again, they're being paid, and I'm
Yeah. You're taking care of them.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we should definitely talk about that because that's one thing Tracy and I are heavily focused on is raising capital for the co-living. So right now, like we do have deal flow, but at the moment we have more capital than deal flow. So we'll have to talk about that. What is your
Opposite
so
problems,
like
opposite problems, big opportunity.
yin and yang? So okay, in Owners Club we have our 5-year goal or vision mapped out. What is your official Mount Everest?
Well, be the official. Let's say be the company who people, investors, new investors go to buy deals. I'm creating a system, my company, on a done for you kind of process where my company will do the from A to
Yeah,
C, like meaning from I will find the property, my team will find the property off market or at discount, even if it's a sub two. My team will fix the property, will rehab the property. My team will rent, my team will refinance, and then my team will manage the property. So my goal is to get to 1,000 doors in less than 5 years. Not as
that's
a
wide.
syndicator, not as a syndicator, not yet, but just bringing people to own uh,
So
properties
you
with
you
me.
don't you won't maintain any equity. It'll more so just be managing it.
No, no, no. I will maintain. I will go 50-40 depending on,
Okay, okay.
excuse me, depending on their participation in the deal.
Mm, that's cool. I think
I've
a
done
lot
it
of
multiple
people,
times.
yeah, I think a lot of people want that. They want the white glove service. So what I'm
And I'm
hearing.
working on that right now. I have like my last, I would say, 5 properties. I've done it like that, depending on the percentages by the amount of money that the investors or partners bring to the table.
Yeah.
But most of the
And then
time, I cash flow and I get most of their money out. That's the thing. If we use another source of financing.
yeah. So how do you pay them back? How do you structure it? They get a certain percentage of cash flow, they get all the cash flow. Um, are they getting cash flow along the way? And then when you have enough equity, you're refinancing like the syndicate model? Or what's common
Okay,
for you?
good question. Most of if not 100% of my properties, they have equity day one. So even if it is a sub two, I like to have equity day one, right? So let me tell you about an example that I just closed. I have a fourplex. The fourplex is going to be 4 units, huge property, like 3,500 square feet property between all the 4 units. Uh, I'm all in. So I brought an investor. The investor will bring 90K to the closing table. I mean, just to finish the rehab. We're gonna do a Morbi method. For those who doesn't know what Morbi method is, I'm gonna sell it to the partner, and then I'm gonna give the partner the 20% or 25% that the partner brought. I mean that the partner brought to the table. But the partner will keep the 90% invested. So all in, we are $500,000 on the. We're gonna have the mortgage 500K plus the $90,000 by the investor, but the property value is 750. So 500 plus the 90, we're gonna be all in 590. But we have from day one $160,000 in equity. So the property will
Hmm.
cash flow as a long term close to 1,500 as a co-living because again 4 units, but I'm gonna create an extra room on the living rooms. So we're gonna have close to 14 doors,
Hmm.
14 to 16 doors. I mean rooms. When I say rooms, is doors. Uh, Cash flow on pad split, I mean, co living is going to be close to $3,000.
No.
So here's the deal: we're 50-50 partners on the deal, and we're going to make decisions every other year. So every 2 years, we're going to meet and we're going to make a decision. Okay, do we want to keep it? Do we want to refinance it? Do we want to sell it? If we sell it, first thing that we're going to do, we want to pay the 90K from the investor and then split everything else. So the
And
investor's
then
money is
in
always going to get back.
and then in the meantime, you're splitting the
Yeah.
cash flow. That's
Yes.
yes.
And my
I like
company
that.
is bringing
Yeah.
everything. My company is bringing as my 50%. My company will be managing the property
Yeah, yeah. And
with
that
no
is
extra
a lot.
cost.
Yeah. Like that is, I mean, there's always emails coming in. There's
Bro,
always, it's not
having
light.
having a bad split is like having multiple, like those 15
Children.
properties. They're like 40. Yeah, they're like 40 plus the rooms.
Dang.
For me, it's like 40 plus properties. Every
Yeah.
tenant is a world, right? And sometimes they come with drama. I would say we have a 10-15% of tenants that they're delayed on the payments.
Mm.
We had a property here like right behind my house that we were almost fully occupied, but one tenant came. I don't know what happened, but the tenant, because of that tenant, most of the people vacate the property. It
So
was like a
how do
bad
you,
apple.
so how are you vetting them, or what platform are you using to do like background checks, stuff like that?
No, bro, I just trust Pad Split.
Mm.
That's why my
Okay,
my
okay. So it's
goal
still
my
through
goal
pad
is
split.
to, yes.
Yeah, I like it. Do you do the
If
extra 50, you know, the extra little button, the 15% more
no.
strict? There's
Oh
a
no, no, no,
setting.
I don't use it. I don't. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
know what you're saying, but I don't use
we
it.
do it.
You do it?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna take that
we're,
notes.
we're the shot. Okay, so I guess another question then is, I've heard a lot of things about Dallas. Dallas seems to be, I guess, a market where they're really cracking down on co-living. Have you noticed anything like that in Houston?
No, bro. I mean, I think we have been blessed by having such a cool city. Uh, that no, even Dallas, they cracked down on an Airbnb like 3 years ago. Dallas is like there are two big cities in Texas, like super good to invest. Houston and Dallas. But out of both cities, the best for me in terms of growth, in terms of flexibility, is Houston. So I don't know why, but yeah, Houstonians are different. There's so many people from so many backgrounds. So it's such a huge mix that it's difficult to kind of establish laws.
Do you have a deal right now in Houston that you're looking for capital?
Bro, I have six.
All right,
I,
well, I guess after this we need to talk. So, no, serious, like we're looking. We have the capital ready. Like it's liquid. So,
so what are you guys looking to get, or how is your deal structured? Or I don't know if we can talk about that.
Um, we'll definitely
And for any
set
other
up a we'll
investors.
set up a call. But yeah, we are actively looking. So we have capital now. We have more capital coming. So I guess a couple other questions. Um, I had one, it slipped my mind, but in terms of other cities, so you mentioned Florida. Are you gonna try to do pad split in South Florida? Does it pencil for you, or where in Florida?
I will say going to the West Coast, Tampa, and I don't know much about Florida. If I'm investing outside my comfort zone, that is Houston and San Antonio and Dallas, I will invest first. So I will go first for people and then properties. Meaning is that I
Yeah.
will always invest outside my comfort zone when I have people that I trust. For example, you guys
Yeah.
in Florida. I have Jules in Florida. I have another guy in Tampa. Because I learned my lesson investing in San Antonio. Really cool deal. We got a Subto for like 10K.
Mm,
Amazing wrap. But here in Houston, we do a lot of wraps too. Like we sell in owner finance. Here in Houston, a wrap usually takes from in a good location with like with affordable payments. It takes us like a month to 2 months to sell. It took
wow.
us in San Antonio like 7 months.
Mm,
Seven, because we had
interesting.
we hire an agent. Then that agent was not performing. Then we hire another agent. When we reach out to a super big investor in San Antonio, they recommended us another agent. So it was not a shit show, because I mean they were good professionals, but it's not the same. It's not the same when you
Oh,
don't have that relationship with those people.
yeah,
They don't
yeah.
feel the
It's different.
pain. They don't feel the pain of the monthly payments getting
Yeah.
out of their accounts.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's
People
see. All right.
first. So people first and then properties when I'm investing
Yeah.
outside.
All right. So you have deals. You are open to capital, PMLs, PMPs. What is the best way for people to reach out to you?
I'm pretty active on Instagram. I don't know if you can share here. We can share uh, my
See it
blink
right.
card.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description
Yes, actually, my
and on YouTube.
at Sanudo. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I will share my blink card, and I'm creating my website,
Yeah.
liuversañudo.com.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. Do you have so Instagram and then do you have YouTube or anything else? Or
Yes, I
Instagram's the
have
best?
YouTube. Is the same, like Liuver.sanudo or at Liuver Sanudo.
Perfect. All right. Well, you hear that, guys. If you want to tackle some co-living deals in parts of Texas, hit them up on Instagram. I appreciate you joining today, man.
Thank you, my man.